Welcome to an episode of Founder in the Chair. I'm your host, Fina, and today I have a founder with me who bought his first property at the age of 20. I mean, like, what are 20-year-olds doing these days? His passion for property finance has led him to have an award-winning company with a strong team of 7 advisors behind him. So I'm super excited to welcome Akhil from Our Mortgage Broker. Welcome, Akhil.
Well, good afternoon, Vina, and that's a very nice introduction. Looks like you never rehearsed that. Oh, it was one take. Fantastic.
That absolutely was.
Can I go home now?
Yes, you can. Off you go.
All done. Perfect. Thank you.
But we want to know, buying a property at the age of 20.
It was, we'll put it this way. I accidentally came across it in terms of, had an idea.
Okay.
I was working up the road at Halifax, stumbled across a local independent mortgage brokerage, a guy called Phil. If he's watching, hello Phil. Came across him, told him what we wanted to do, and he made it happen. And we bought our first property at the age of 20. So
when you say we, who was?
Me and my younger brother.
Okay.
So yeah, we bought the property together. It was a year before I got married.
Okay.
So I thought I had a bit of money. I thought, why not? And I've always been a lover of property, and so has my family from day one.
Yeah.
So I thought, let's bite the bullet rather than spending money in the clubs and bars.
Yeah.
Let's buy some bricks and mortar. So there we are.
So when you say it was always in the family, so you knew it was a good thing to do.
Yeah, I think we come from a background of entrepreneurs, self-employed people. So it's in our DNA, if you like.
Yeah.
So I always thought that, you can never go wrong with property. As I grew up, everyone was talking about property.
Mm-hmm.
It's a safe bet. It adds value, adds cash flow. It doubles every so often. And I thought, why not? Let's give it a go. And, I was 20 years old. I was very new to that era, but I had good support system behind me. So I thought, you can't go wrong. English was great. England property's great.
Yeah.
It's a safe haven. Let's go for it. And here we are today. I'm 41 now. Bought numerous properties down the line. So it's worked out pretty well.
And do you still have that first property?
I sold that property. So I bought that in 2005. I got married in 2006.
Okay.
And then I ended up selling that first property. When did I sell that? 11 years later, I sold that. I think it was about a decade or so later.
Okay.
But it did very well for us, that's for sure.
So you were 20
Yeah.
at the time. So a 20-year-old now, it's not so easy for them to buy a property.
Well, listen, I've got a 14-year-old and I've got a 10-year-old. So I'm gearing up my children to buy their first property or even do it before I did it. So I'm giving them a bit of a target, if you like. But you know what? It's horses for courses. You're right. It's not easy to get on the property ladder. But it wasn't as easy 21 years ago either. So I think it comes down to who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
Your network, your source of information, and telling people where you want to go in life. And I think if you talk to people, it opens up doors. And I've found that you can never have enough friends or enough business associates or enough advisors. So I think the more you open yourself up, you're going to come across dud information, that's for sure. But we live in such a genre now where you got so much information out there online or through family and friends to make it work. So I don't think it's as hard as people say it is. It does come down to affordability. Yes, you do need some skin in the game, i.e. some cash to put into the deal. But there are numerous ways. And as mortgage brokers, that's what we're here to do, is facilitate your dreams and your goals and work with you. It might not happen in 2025, but it might happen in 2026. So we work to the target.
If, let's say, an 18-year-old came to you and said, Akhil, let's set a plan in place. Could you help them?
Oh, for sure. Listen, I was once upon a time in their boat, right? So I had all these large aspirations and so on. So we work with a lot of portfolio landlords. So our bread and butter is clients that have got 10, 20, 30, 50 properties. So they know what they're doing. We're there to help them make sure they're getting the best deals and so on.
Yeah.
But where we really, really do enjoy the aspect of our business is actually helping people buy their first property. So first-time buyers that are newly married couples or somebody that's inherited money that wants to buy an investment property or wants to now move away from their family home and buy their own new home. So we actually take real pride in that. And it's a great day. It's a great day when they complete. They call us, they send us flowers, they send us chocolates, and we do the same as well. A bottle of champagne if they're drinking, or a bottle of apple juice if they're not drinking, whatever, to celebrate. But we know we like that. And it's you can always buy all these fancy watches and cars and so on, but when you buy your first property, it's definitely something to be really excited about.
So what advice would you give to that first time buyer who's like thinking it's never going to happen and they're just going to have to rent forever?
Yeah.
what would you tell them to start doing?
Well, the first thing is to start believing in yourself. You've got to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
If you think it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. But believe in yourself, save money, cut out eating out. You know, if you're getting takeaway, Uber Eats or
delete the app.
Delete the app. Yeah, or stop getting taxis and start walking or whatever it is. I would say cut out the unnecessary. Listen, we all like to get takeaways or eat out or go on holiday and so on, but try to shave off where you can. So instead of staying in a 5-star hotel when you're going next trip to Dubai, for example, stay in a 4-star. Every little helps, and you'll be surprised if you cut back on unnecessary things. It'll soon add up to a large deposit or a large proportion of your deposit. So I would say definitely cut back on the unnecessary stuff. Start believing in yourself, but also, as I said at the beginning of the show, was start surrounding yourself with the right like-minded people, because there's so much to learn, and in every business, whether it's property or finance or anything, there's always something new to learn. So I always say every day is a school day. So there's always something to take away from people that you meet, and also don't try to be in the same sort of circle of friends. Expand your horizons with different demographics, whether that's in the country or just different professions. Don't always hang around with people that are in the same business as you are. So if you work for a bank, don't hang around with just bankers. You know, hang around with different elements of. So there's a bit of an overlap. You have to have an overlap so that you can share in common in conversation, but expand your horizons with your network.
Okay. So you said you worked at Halifax.
Yeah.
So did you always work in banks?
Yes. So I went to college. I did okay. Probably the best thing out of college was I met my wife. So we were boyfriend and girlfriend for 4 years, and then we got married. So that's probably the best qualification I gained out of college. But then I didn't go to university. I thought, you know what, it's not me. Let me take a year out.
Okay.
So I stumbled upon Halifax Bank in Haystown in Middlesex. So I walked past it and I had a few CVs. Back in the day, I used to walk around with the CVs.
Yeah.
So I popped in and I met the guy called Howard. I still remember at the reception desk. And he turned out to be the branch manager. We got on like a house on fire immediately. We sat down, had a conversation. The following week, I had a telephone interview. I think a week later, I had an in-person interview, test and all that sort of stuff. And I think the next month, I was working at Halifax in Haystown. So 2003, my career started with Halifax, did 10 years with them. It got made redundant in 2013. Okay. But in that 10 years, I've worked for Halifax, Bank of Scotland, and then Lloyds Banking Group in the city as well during that decade period. So various roles in banking and finance, and obviously bought property as well. So banking, finance, and property has been my last 21 years.
So you didn't go to uni. So most people would think, wow, he's running a company like our mortgage broker. Yeah. He must have a degree.
No, I definitely don't have a degree, and I like to hold my hands up. And I think, you know, I always say education is very important. I'm a father of 2 young boys, so I want them to excel. And I still think it's good to have a good, strong foundation in academics, but it's not the be and end all. Depends what you want to do. So if you want to become a doctor or an accountant or a dentist, yes, you need to study for it. But, you know, don't put too much pressure on yourselves that it's the be and end all. I always say follow your dream. What can you be proud of, and where are you enjoying? Where can you be more fulfilling in your day? So work on your positives or what you're good at doing, and the rest will just come in play. And it depends on who you meet as well in your day as well. But yeah, no, I didn't go to university. I was more like everything just happened accidentally. You know, I was the youngest branch manager at the age of 21.
Oh, wow,
in the whole of the country for Halifax. I just excelled in the branch space very, very quickly. And then we went over to Bank of Scotland, where I was a private banker in the Trafalgar Square office, right across the road from the sports bar, which I used to go to quite often with the clients in private banking, which was nice. So everything happened accidentally, but I say it wasn't accidental. It was actually my hard work and my dedication as well.
Yeah.
So it's like anything: the more you put in, the more you get out. So I'm a big believer of the harder you work, the luckier you get as well. So more of that to come.
More of that to come. So you started your company when?
I started my own company, the mortgage brokerage, May 2018. So we're coming up to 7 years in May of 2025. Started as a one-man band. I had a dream.
Yes.
Slowly put it together. Spoke to the right people.
Yeah.
Told them what I wanted to do, and I just got on with it.
So you had to study to become a mortgage broker?
Yes. So actually, you know what? If we go back, so in 2007, I actually applied for the industry qualification, which is CEMAP, CEMAP. So 2007, a bunch of books came, and I looked at the books and I was like, oh, I know this. I didn't even look at 10th page and I sat the exam. But unfortunately in 2007, because I didn't read the syllabuses, I failed.
Okay.
So I guess everything happens for a reason. I put it to the bed, and then obviously next year the big financial crash happened in 2008. So I guess everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But 2017 came along, and I thought, you know what, I really want to excel in this mortgage business. I really love property. I know finance quite well by now. So I sat the exams in 2017. I actually opened the syllabus.
That was 10 years later.
That was 10 years later.
Okay.
I genuinely did study, and these things you can't wing it, right? You've got to study for it. So I spent time, studied in 2017, qualified, started my own brokerage in 2018, and as a one-man band, started off.
Yeah.
And my network was pretty healthy because I've had my since 2003 in that industry.
Yeah.
So it's just my connections, told people what I did. I like to think I'm a people person. I like to help people, put them first and then myself second, and then you just build on from there. And here we are today. We have a team of 7 successful mortgage advisors in the team. We've got offices in Mayfair in London, and the team is dotted around London and the home counties.
So you've got 7 people
Yes.
work with you. How do you motivate your team?
Oh, feed them chocolate. Feed them chocolate, and me too. How do you motivate a team? I think there's only so much you can motivate people. I think motivation has to come from self within as well. I think that's very, very important. But as a leader of the business, you've got to be open. You've got to be friendly. You've got to be conversive. You've got to talk to one another. You've got to talk about the good and bad.
Yeah.
We're in an industry where we're helping people get on the property ladder. We're managing expectations.
Yeah.
We're managing people's affordability. And, owning property in today's day and age, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
It's usually everyone's largest direct debit on a monthly basis. So you've got to be mindful of that. So motivation is very, very important. And we're here in a business where we're here to serve our clients, support the clients, guide the clients, and fortunately, the team are really good at what they do. They're friendly people. They get on with people, and they're here to help them and guide them in the most efficient manner. So, long may that continue. All our clients are they usually just come back to us for subsequent purchase properties. But more importantly, where we actually excel, I should say, is actually on word of mouth. Okay. So we don't do any hard advertising as such. I'll do a mortgage for you, Veena. You'll tell your family and friends, and it develops from there. And that means you trust us.
Yeah.
You like us. We've got that like, know, and trust, and then we then develop for there on after. So no, motivation has to come from within. That back to your question, but a bit of guidance, a bit of leadership from my side is very, very important, and just being available. My team always say to me, Akhil, how do you respond within 30 seconds on a Sunday or a Monday? And I'm like, because I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
So, that is half the battle.
Yeah.
When you wake up in the morning, it's like, I've got to go to the office, or
Yeah.
I've got to write this application with this bank. As long as you enjoy what you do, half the battles that's sorted.
Yeah.
You're always going to have problems in any industry that you're in. But it's how you overcome them is the other side of the battle.
I was actually going to say, how do you motivate yourself? So you enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
But what about when you do have a day when you're just like,
I have loads of those. I have them every minute of the day, to be honest with you. And I'm not just talking about my kids. No, I think, how do I motivate myself? I think I look back at why I started the business, and, going from an employed structure to a self-employed structure, it's a big mind shift, to be honest, because you're used to getting paid on the first of each month, no matter what, as long as you don't get sacked.
Yeah.
But whereas when you're self-employed, if you don't go to work, you're probably not going to earn any cash.
Yeah.
So you've got to, first, as I said, you've got to enjoy what you do. There are things I don't like doing in part of the job, but that's just part of the job. But as you grow and as you get older in any business, whatever you do in your own business, you become smarter in it.
Yeah.
And I like to work efficiently as much as possible. And we try to demonstrate that to the team members. How can we work more efficiently? Still strive to the best bits and pieces to help the clients and so on, and help yourselves, but do things efficiently. And you'll find that you'll have more time on your hands to do other things. So being self-employed, it's a huge benefit because you can work half the day or full day. It's up to you. But the more you put in, usually the more you get out. But going back to the efficiencies, you'll find if you become a bit more efficient in your day and your structure, you've got time to go to the gym. You've got time to then network in different circles to build your own
like
brand.
being here today.
Exactly that.
Give me an example though. What is it that you do that's efficient? Because so many business owners burn out.
Yes.
or they just don't have enough time in the day. How do you do it? How do you reply within 30 seconds? Because you reply to me in 30 seconds.
Yeah, you know what? It's because the phone's always on and it's always in my hand and it's vibrating as we speak. So how do I do it? I think it's like anything. It's like second nature. It's just easy to do. And I'm not saying I know the answer to everything, but I'm usually one or two persons away to get an answer.
Yeah.
Or I just know what the answer is because we've just been there, done it and wore the shirt so often. But what we're also is honest to our clients and our friends and our business associates and our introducers is if we don't have the answer, we'll say we don't have the answer. I don't want to just blag anything. We're going to come back to you with an actual specific answer and meet your obligations as well. So it's being honest and transparent with our clients, which is very, very important. And I think that plays a massive factor on the growth of the business and also the reputation as well. We take pride in that, right? So, we're coming up to 7 years old. We're an award-winning business. We're growing nicely and I'm proud of what we're building. We're still very, very in our infancy in our business, but we've got massive, massive dreams. But, how do I motivate myself? I like going away on holiday, to be honest with you. I know that costs money. It doesn't have to be an aeroplane away. It could be go to the Cotswolds or, go anywhere. I think time away from your day-to-day job is very, very healthy as well. And also having a good family bond as well in your household is very, very important as well. So, speaking to your loved ones, getting guidance or even asking them for support now and then is very, very helpful as well.
As a founder, do you go on holiday and get lots of ideas?
Yes.
Because a lot of people, when they go away, they switch off. That's it. There's even more ideas. So they don't actually switch off.
No, yeah. As much as, you plan, as soon as you're packing, you're at the gate and you're ready to fly on, you're like, I'm going to switch my phone off. I'm not going to do that. But my phone's always on. My laptop goes with me. It goes back to I enjoy what I do. Yeah. But also you don't know who you're going to bump into. So I've just been away in December in Dubai for quite some time. And I met so many like-minded people that I really wanted to meet. And I met them because I've pre-arranged some appointments or I accidentally met them in bars, in restaurants and so on and so on. So things happen for a reason and it's all about what you manifest and all that sort of stuff as well. That's a massive word at the moment people are into. But yeah, you're right. And if you don't manifest, you're not gonna see what comes out the other end. But no, I'm always looking at the next opportunity.
So do you write down goals?
You know what?
I've never
written down anything in my life. Probably goes back to why I didn't go to university. To-do list, yes.
Okay.
So I'll have the notes section on my mobile. So I can't even remember the last time I put pen to paper, to be honest.
Okay.
I really didn't. Maybe to sign a contract or something like that, but I can't remember. So I use my phone as a to-do list. I've got to call Vina. I've got to do this. I've got to put the bins out. I've got to pick up my kids, or I've got to cook for my missus tonight, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you will use a to-do list, and that's very, very important because I use my calendar a lot. And it just keeps my day methodical, organized, so I don't miss anything. I have huge OCD, right? So I don't like to miss anything. I'd rather be on time or ahead of time. Yeah. So I know that I can manage.
You were an hour early today.
I was an hour early today, yeah. But it works out well. I get to meet some people in your office here, which is lovely.
Yeah.
And you just don't know who you're going to come across. And, but I think to-do lists are very important. I think setting out your day in advance. And I tell my team that every single day. We have a meeting at 9:30 each and every Monday and talk to each other during the day as well. Right when you wake up, you know what you're doing at 9, you know what you're doing at 11, you know what you're doing at 1, because time runs away. It's so important that you've got urgent and non-urgent things diarized in your day ahead, if not 2 days ahead. So you're planning and you're more effective in your day.
So your team can contact you at any time?
Yes.
What if you're in the middle of doing something?
Yeah.
Now your team's got an expectancy now that you're going to reply within 30 seconds. What if you don't? How do you then manage their expectation? No,
so I do try my best to reply immediately, but like now we're on this podcast, so I'm not going to reply right now. So that's fair enough. So everyone appreciates that. As long as you have got the right ideas and you will do your best, they know they will get an answer. And sometimes, actually, to be honest with you, I'm quite reliant on my team now because we've grown this business. So everyone is quite self-organized. And I've got trust in them, and which is very, very important. So I know I can go away, I can be here, I can be half a day out. Everything's in control. Obviously, being the leader of the business, decision maker, the buck does lie with me. So I take responsibility for that. But more importantly is just working with the right people. And, as I said, if you've got a good supportive team behind you, you can just grow and grow and grow. Then the sky's the limit.
So having a team of 7,
Yeah.
I've got a team, but I've only got 5. When someone's not performing,
Yeah.
how do you deal with that?
So I always say it's my fault.
Really?
I always say it's my fault because I take responsibility for everyone's actions.
Okay.
So what I mean by I take responsibility, and I think it's my weakness, is probably I always think I haven't done enough. So what I'll always do is ask myself, why is he and she performing and he and she are not? So I'll always work, why am I doing more? Why are they doing more than the other person? And it has to come from self within. We talked about motivation earlier, right? Are you motivated enough to do it? Are you happy in your role? Is this really your full-time job, or are you doing it to pass time? So not everyone wants to work 23 hours a day like me. Not everyone wants to work 7 days a week. Some want to work 5. So I don't treat everyone, I treat everyone equally, but I don't expect everyone to play their equal paths. So if someone's not performing, I'll always have a frank conversation with them to say, I think you can do more. What can I do to support you to excel and grow you more forward? Some people are a bit more, some people are quite proactive and say, I want to earn XXX, but I don't know how to. And then I will then set out short, timely events. You need to do ABC Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, do DEF, and then we'll then counter reset on the following Monday and then see what happened and then take necessary actions. So I think I take responsibility up front, and then we set short targets and goals on a weekly basis to upskill them. Sometimes it's a minor motivation. Sometimes they've got personal problems.
Yeah.
Sometimes they've got whatever it is. But my job is to make sure they're motivated and they're enjoying what they're doing. Because if you don't enjoy what you do, you're never going to be motivated. So I think it's very, very important to motivate your team. How do you motivate your team? Your audience is probably thinking there's no one way of motivating a team, because some people are motivated by money. Some people are motivated by happiness. Some people are motivated by support system.
Yeah.
There's so many weird and wonderful ways of doing it. So as long as you encompass all those 3 and plus more, you should have a pretty strong and healthy team around you.
Get to know your member of staff.
Yeah, get to know them and also ask them.
them.
And some people are quite open, some people are not, but then you just play to their strengths and take a view from there on out.
Perfect. So just one more thing. You said even at the weekends you will reply on a Sunday. How does your wife and your children feel about that?
Well, I tell my children, you know what, because I've always done it, my children don't do any different.
Okay.
It's different if I only worked Monday to Friday and then I started working Sunday.
Yeah.
But listen, because we're self-employed, I talked about the efficiencies, we still have fun. Listen, we travel, we spend time together. I work from home a couple of days a week. My wife does as well. So, things work out. And
she doesn't get upset with
no,
you.
No, she doesn't get upset. No, absolutely not. But no, she knows that I'm doing it for ourselves, our family, our futures, and so on. So, she's very successful at what she does, and she's a great, backbone to my business as well. So I think it's important that depending on our aspirations, we want to grow, we want to do certain things, not for everyone, but you've got to put the effort in now. I'm 41 years old. I feel quite healthy and young. So I want to double down on the opportunity that we've got now, and don't wait for tomorrow. That's my self.
You're very lucky with your family and your wife.
Yes, thank you.
So, Akhil, we're going to ask you some quick-fire questions
Sure.
now.
Yeah.
So, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Well, my wife wants to move to Dubai. I'm 75% there. So it probably will be Dubai for various reasons. Time zone, not too far away.
Yeah.
Good weather, great food, safe,
Yeah.
low taxes. But no, I think it'll probably be Dubai.
And you'll move your business there, or it will still run here?
No, listen, I think UK is my baby. I love London. I think it's a great place, and I'm proud to be British and so on and so on. So the business will definitely stay here. We may extend the business out to Dubai in the short term very soon.
Exciting
So
times.
let's see what happens.
What was your favourite subject in school?
My favourite subject, business studies, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, so it's in my system, business studies.
Okay. What's your star sign?
Sagittarius, 26th November.
And would you say you're a true Sagittarian?
I am a true Sagittarian, yes. I definitely am, yeah.
Okay. One of the traits that you would say are definitely a Sagittarian?
I think one's being very organised and methodical, I think.
Yeah, that you are, of what I know of you. Do you have a favourite social media platform?
I want to say Instagram, but you know what? I like LinkedIn.
Okay.
I think that's just because it's very business ethos and you're not seeing food on LinkedIn and all that stuff. But no, LinkedIn for me, I think it's the professional social media channel.
And does it work better for your business?
Yeah, it does. But not to say that we don't use the other platforms, because we appreciate everyone comes from different genres and age demographics and so on. So we have to advertise and provide information and knowledge on all platforms. But for me, LinkedIn, but I think Instagram is pretty high up there too.
Which platform does most of your business come from? Apart from word of mouth? And
I think from inquiries, I'd probably say Instagram actually.
Okay.
Inquiries more come but the more interaction is actually on LinkedIn. So I don't know how that works, but it's happening.
What's your pet peeve?
My pet?
Pet peeve. Something that really annoys you.
Oh, mess.
Okay.
I hate mess. I hate mess, and I hate things that I was supposed to do today, but I didn't get them done. So those two things, yeah,
OCD.
mess and not completing the task that I was supposed to do today. Because I like waking up with a clear inbox or not something overhanging from the night before.
Okay. Something unusual on your bucket list.
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to come back to you.
Anything on your bucket list?
What's yours?
That you haven't done
You
yet?
tell me. Give me some inspiration.
Skydive, which I've already done.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can't even go on funfair rides, let alone a skydive.
Okay. I want to do paragliding.
Okay, that's good. I want to do skiing.
Okay.
So yeah, my kids did skiing at the Mall of Emirates. So on one of my to-do lists is actually learn to ski.
Yeah.
But that is my to-do list. Yeah, one of the little things I want to do. Yeah.
Who has inspired you the most in your life?
Who's inspired me? I'd probably say my mum's inspired me for various reasons, hundreds of those. She's my biggest inspiration. I think, people always say, oh, it's Steve Jobs or it's Bill Gates and all that sort of stuff. I always say the nearest and dearest is my inspiration. So my mother, my wife, my two boys, and that's why I wake up and that's why I go again and again. So yeah.
Love that.
Those guys, yeah.
That's really nice. So Akhil, award-winning company. How do we contact you?
So go on to Google, OUR Mortgage Broker. All the social media handles are all Our Mortgage Broker Limited. We're all over the internet, so reach out anytime through social media or directly through the website.
And your name on LinkedIn?
Akhil Mair.
Perfect. And just one last thing, a hot tip for someone wanting to start in the same industry as you. Something maybe you wish you had known before?
I think if you're going self-employed, you want to start your own brokerage, speak to people that are already in the business. Because as I said earlier, you can never know it all. And you'll be surprised. A lot of people are very helpful in our industry. So yeah, reach out for sure. Speak to people that are experienced and then compare the advice that you've been given. But it's a great industry, property finance. It's a great business to be in. But be willing to put in the hours. Be willing to travel, be willing to network, be willing to motivate yourself, because it's not an easy business to be in. We're dealing with people's properties, people's affordability, finances and so on. So be prepared to put in the hours and graft.
And are you happy for people to contact you who are looking to go into this world? Yeah,
for sure. Listen, I'm very, very easy to work with, get on with. Somebody can reach out to me on WhatsApp, email, social media, whatever. I'm fully accessible and I'll give you my best for sure.
There you go, guys. You heard it from Akhil. So if you do want to go into the property finance world, contact him for some tips. Thank you.